Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am your friendly neighborhood Pokeprof, and welcome back to Let's Play Chlorophyll vs. Corpses. When we last left off, we had finally entered the nighttime stages, and we just got a bunch of new mushrooms to help us out. Because mushrooms are nighttime plants, apparently. But we now have a brand new shroom to help us fight a brand new zombie, the screen door zombie, which I will go into once he actually pops up. I also decided I'm going to actually stick with the sun shrooms. I will tell you right now there is actually an achievement for going through a nighttime level without using any mushrooms. That said, I honestly, like I said, I'm not going for achievements. The achievements are fun, but in the end, it's like they're just kind of there, actually. Let's go get away with the walnut. There you go. There we go. Alright, so first off, the Fume-shroom is a bit of a longer range shroom than the Puff-shroom. I'm not so certain about the damage of it. You should see the little sidebar thing that should tell you what its damage range is. But that's actually not the most important thing about it. I'll show that off when we actually need to worry about it. But first, let's get some more mushrooms out. Get our fumes here, and we'll be perfectly fine. Come on. Give me more sun. I want to plant more sun. I also love a lot of the little, I find it very interesting and yet very, very dark at some occasions. How pretty much any franchise you go into that has tombstones or grave markers will put some kind of joke on it. Like we have expired here, and we have I don't know how many other games and shows and movies that will have just really funny names on gravestones. I guess humans just like to make fun of death. I don't know. Alright, once I collect enough sun, actually, I'll show off the Fume-shroom in battle. As you see, kind of like the Puff-shroom, it has limited range. That doesn't mean that it's not useful, because, well, we'll actually see its use a little bit later, as soon as the zombie in question actually pops up, so I can show it off. Unfortunately, this is one of the more, downer parts to Plants vs. Zombies, is that in some cases you're just kind of sitting there waiting for something to actually happen. While some of the later stages do get a lot more entertaining in terms of just how to deal with them, it also gets a little irritating because you're just sitting there saying, "Come on, zombies, attack me. I want to see you at your strongest." Right. Now, I believe, actually, because the Fume-shroom here is a shroom that does AoE damage, it will actually hit every enemy in the area. It actually does less damage than you would normally think. But here's the major reason why I wanted to show this off. So I'm going to get rid of you real fast so I can plant you down. Notice the screen door zombie here. Not only is he our new enemy, he is a very, very durable enemy. His screen door will tank just about anything, and I think I may have not put you down. Oh, thank goodness. There we go. The screen door zombie will be able to tank pretty much anything that comes his way. Makes him be a very dangerous opponent, because even pea shooters will have a hard time knocking down his shield. That's what the Fume-shrooms have their main use for, because their damage will actually go right through that shield and hit the zombie behind it. And this is also the point of the game where we're going to start seeing actual weaknesses for certain zombies to certain plants. So, for example, there's a mushroom, particularly later on, that actually really helps the plants fight when they're going up against, say, the buckethead zombies. They actually have a particular weakness. You know. Oh, that. So that's the main purpose you'll see of the Fume-shrooms, is they will go and be able to counter the screen door zombies pretty well. And they're pretty decent at doing damage to a bunch of zombies in one sit. We should get the final wave here. Give ourselves a couple of repeaters up. I'm not sure if you're gonna live, Repeater. No, you're not. Crap. Well, thankfully, this guy was able to do enough damage to stop it. But yeah, that's actually the one major good things, is that this also really starts to show the fact that we're starting to get some AoE shrooms, or not shrooms, excuse me. AoE plants, to where plants are going to start be able to actually do damage to multiple targets instead of just one. But we now have the Grave Buster. Oh, and since we actually have enough money now, we can actually buy an extra seed slot from Crazy Dave here. So basically, this is where we're going to be spending a good chunk of our money, is to buy things from Crazy Dave. At the moment, he's only going to be selling us that extra seed slot, but he'll sell us more as we go throughout the game. Sure. Might as well have that extra part. Yeah, $5,000 for the 8 seed slot upgrade. So this is actually going to help us out, because now that I'm able to actually have more plants, I'll be able to show more off. But now we have the Grave Buster. You know, let's stick with what we had earlier. Pull in the Grave Buster so we can show it off. Walnut or cherry bomb? Well, let's go with walnut. Alright, so the Grave Buster, as you might have guessed by its name alone, its main purpose is to, well, pretty much destroy these grave markers that we see all over the place. For the most part, I tend not to use it myself for one reason and one reason only. The grave markers respawn. I'm not sure what the actual, like, reason or math behind the respawning is. I'm not sure if, like, a level has to have certain grave markers, or it's just like, hey, you know, you've went without this number of grave markers, we're going to spawn another one. If there is something like that, I'll have Futureprof put it up on there and tell us what's going on. But for the most part, that's just kind of what the Grave Buster is for. Not the most terribly useful plant, but it's also one of the plants that we can actually constantly use. When I mean constantly is, well, we'll actually have certain restriction on plants later on in the game. We're not there quite yet, but I'll show it. Just to show you what the animation here for the Grave Buster is. I believe you do constantly get a little bit of money from every gravestone you go and eat up that way. So it might be worth it, might not. You know, the main issue is it's kind of like some of these other plants, like, you know, the potato mine, you know, a cherry bomb. It's like you're essentially wasting 75 sun to get rid of something that will affect you later on and not affect you directly this moment. Versus the 200 sun for a repeater that will just sit there and melt everything that tries to come and get you. So let's actually put another one here. Let's actually put a Fume-shroom here. We don't really need the puff shrooms as much anymore. They're just kind of there for extra defense should we really need it. Yeah, this is also the point of the game where you might want to actually go away from repeaters and go back to regular pea shooters, simply because otherwise you're going to have a hard time filling up your area here, since you're just having to deal with, you know, so much more limited sun. Alright, so now that we got our sun here, let's get rid of these guys. Start planting Fume-shrooms. Yeah, so the Fume-shrooms have so much further range. They cost a little bit more, but just having them here means especially if you have multiple of them in a row, you're just doing multiple rounds of AoE damage. Especially as the enemies start getting to where they're having a lot more zombies, this can really, really help. I think you're actually going to get through before I finish here. Oh no, you didn't. Oh, thank goodness. Let's actually put you up there. Let's actually get rid of you and put the repeater down here. Put the potato mine here just in case, because I don't think I'll be able to get a Fume-shroom in that area and actually have it be useful before you get ready to kill me. That's actually one thing I just remembered. The other reason you'll want to actually start getting rid of the tombstones here, I can't put any of my plants in that area. So yeah, and also I just realized these guys are kind of screwed. That's the other thing you'll want to start keeping in mind of is, well, this is what makes these particular zombies, the pole vault zombies, more a little annoying, is that if you don't kill them fast enough, they're going to get through here. And that's the first, I think, lawnmower we've lost since the Let's Play started. Oh well. I wasn't going to go for a perfect run anyway. Let's start getting the repeaters out. We don't need another repeater just yet. The one I have there. Now you don't really want to be using the Fume-shrooms as much as I've been doing here. I'm just kind of doing it because I like AoE damage, and unfortunately we don't have a really good source of it just yet. Oh, come on. Come on, die, die, die. Don't eat you. Don't eat you. There we go. Once you see a zombie's head fly off, you're pretty much safe from that point. Come on. And thankfully, every zombie is able, every plant is able to take at least like a good couple of chomps before it passes on. But yeah, as you saw, 2 Fume-shrooms were able to just decimate a screen door zombie, which are otherwise a zombie that are near indestructible for you to fight. Oh, I actually didn't know that. I didn't know that frickin' pole vault zombies would actually jump over the grave busters. That's actually useful knowledge. Yeah, and right now I'm just kind of using the grave busters because I'm pretty much spare on sun right now. I believe we should actually be getting to our next mini game after this, if my memory serves me correctly. Almost done. We just got one more giant wave and we're good. I wonder, can we actually destroy all these by the time we're done? Actually, now we're gonna get to the next giant wave before we get the sun to do that. So, I wonder, can you do it in time? Can you do it in time? Come on, Gravebuster. Eat, eat, eat. There we go. So yeah, we were actually able to kill them all off before. I could have sworn they respawned. Maybe it's in a different mode that I'm thinking of. Yeah, and just watch the zombies fall one by one. If you actually have the damage here, you can actually get through the enemy's screen pretty easily, but otherwise, you know, you just want a Fume-shroom to get them killed or blow them up in some respects. But now we have the Suburban Almanac. Y'all know those pictures you've been seeing on the left and the right side of the screen in this Let's Play? This is where it comes from. You get to see the data of all the plants you've collected. Shows you all their different items, abilities, stuff like that. Gives them a little recharge time, cost, just, you know, little interesting descriptions about them. And all the zombies you have ever encountered. As well as giving you a heads up on, like, if it has a particular weakness to a plant that you have. Like, for example, the screen door zombie being weak to the Fume-shroom here. Alright. So with that, Crazy Dave? Yep, we're gonna be playing Whack-a-Zombie. It's like, what, hunting squirbos. You know, those furry little rodents that dig holes in your lawn? So basically it's just whack-a-mole. And like whack-a-mole, we gotta just smack the zombies as they come up. We get a little bit of money out of this, not much, but it's an interesting little minigame. And same rules apply. If they reach over here, you're dead. Well, they'll get run over by this, and then you're dead. But once it starts popping up, as you can see, more gravestones will also pop up. Ooh. Oh, I didn't know it actually drops frickin' sun. More gravestones will start popping up as you go throughout this particular thing. Make it a little bit more difficult for you. It will also start getting faster and faster. But once it actually shows it... Come on, guys. I know you're there. There we go. Come on. There should be... It's taking its sweet time to show it off. Maybe this was the mode I was thinking of where we're going to get a lot of respawning things of grave markers. Oh, come on. Stop being silly. There we go. I want to show something off, but the game's not wanting to do it. There we go. We will also have to deal with the upgraded forms of particular zombies. So as you see that the cone heads, well... They take 2 whacks for us to completely kill. And as you also see, the game starts getting a little bit more hectic when you have so many more grave markers to deal with. You will also eventually, I'm just going to mention it right here, have to deal with buckethead zombies, which will take 3 whacks before they'll be dead. We should be fine with this amount. I don't remember them dropping as much sun in my last time going through here. There's the bucket. I think Buckethead Zombies is the absolute highest level of zombie you'll ever see pop up from a gravestone. Yeah, but at this point it's just you're mashing as hard as you can. But now we have our next mushroom, the Hypno-shroom. But we'll talk about that guy next time. Until then, folks, take care.